Walking into the lab, Hoon could see a few of the researchers working away at their projects. They mainly studied other races the Republic had encountered over the centuries. However, the main focus of current study was one of the latest species found, a race from a planet named Dirt that called themselves Humangs.
"Ah, hello, sir,"
Prost said, looking up cheerily. "How goes the psychic studies today?"
"Somewhat confusing, if I can be honest, sir. The Humangs seem to all have varying levels of psychic powers."
"Oh?" This intrigued Hoon. The biological scans of volunteers showed they had none of the neurochemicals needed to be able to, so to be told otherwise would be a breakthrough indeed.
"Yes, sir. It's fascinating. I even have a chance to interview one such subject. Would you like to observe?"
Hoon considered the offer before nodding, thinking this would be an excellent chance to witness such an example. Following Prost to the interview room, he split off to the observation room adjacent. Inside, he could see the Humang. It was a colloid-shaped being with 2 pairs of limbs and a head from a central body.
"Welcome, Humang,"
Prost said as he sat down.
"Thank you for having me. Though I will say you've misspelled human in your documents, but I guess it may be a translation thing. It phonetically is close enough." "Thank you for informing me. I shall send a message for corrections,"
Prost said with a slight bow of his head.
"We are here today to assess your psychic ability."
"Yes, it did seem like an interesting study, though. I look forward to enlightening you very soon."
"You said for you to properly read my aura, you would need me to answer an in-depth questionnaire."
"Yes, that's right," the human replied with a nod and a grin. "It's an all-around personality analysis. Any human with that data can extrapolate your personality."
"Then this one looks forward to your analysis. Shall we begin?"
In response, the human nodded and took out a form. This confused Hoon. He was aware psychics could gauge vague feelings of others, but to have such a document spoke to a higher level of detail. "Okay. First things first, Prost, you're an independent thinker who takes pride in doing things differently than others."
"By the spirits! That does seem true."
"We also could see while you do have some weaknesses, you always try to overcome them to the best of your abilities." Prost nodded along, but behind the observation window, Hoon began to pale. Such accuracy was unheard of among psychics. If humanity could achieve such responses with atrophied mind transmitters, then how would they fare with them improved? "You're also often as generous as you can be when it's possible, but you also sometimes feel like you could be more generous."
"Indeed, this one does regret that he cannot offer more to others," Prost replied, nodding.
Seeing this, the human nodded before putting the form on the table and sliding it across. "Okay. Feel free to read the rest and tell me how accurate it is. Then I will enlighten you." Looking down at the document, Prost read it, though his ear flaps twitched as it went through.
"Human! This is incredibly accurate! To think your race was capable of such genius mind read—"
Prost stopped at the human, signaling for him to. "Prost, I must confess something. I will first start with an apology. My race has no psychics. We thought, how could we share our understanding with you? Someone suggested we play a little trick."
"A trick?"
Prost echoed, confused. "Yes, you see that form in front of you is not an analysis of your answers."
"It's not?"
"Nope. In fact, when I ran this test on my own students, I gave them each an identical copy of the document you have in front of you now."
"Surely you jest! These are all so accurate and specific to me."
"Sadly, no, they aren't. Prost, they're all vague and generalized statements that can apply to nearly anyone. It's a thing my people call the Barnum effect, that we connect to vague statements that we think apply to us, when all they are just vague."
"So, there are no psychics?"
"None that can be proven in a scientific environment." Seeing Prost become more and more distressed, Hoon stepped into the interview room. "Now see here, Humang, we do not appreciate this deception." "I understand you're upset." Standing up, the human approached Hoon and put a hand on his shoulder. "I'm sure with everything else going on, this is only adding to your stress." Hoon audibly gulped. He had told no one of his family troubles. How did the human know? How could he see unless the humans were covering up their true psychic might for some reason? "I'm sure it's a deeply personal thing. Family? Yes, family can be a great source of stressors." How did you know it was my family?" "Because you told me. It's all another trick. What I'm doing now is called cold reading. I again made a vague statement, and your reaction told me it was accurate." "But how did you know it was family-related?" "Family is often something people worry about.
We humans do have psychics of a sort, but they are tricksters, charlatans, and performance artists. They use magicians' tricks to guide you into revealing things with only your body language. Prost and Hoon shared a look. They had tried studying psychics for years. Many of the races they examined all had similar natures. Many came from social races, but the best explanation was brain chemistry. But now, this human was revealing that it may have all been a trick.
Humang, are there no supernatural powers then?
The human, in response, shrugged. Couldn't say. It could be everyone is using the same tricks we do. It could be there is an extrasensory power. Could just be good old super advanced technology.
Would you assist us with our research then?
Hoon asked. Sure, I don't see why not. I'm sure I can make the Amazing Randy proud across the stars. The Amazing Randy, guy was a magician who very much disliked the people who used these tricks maliciously. Prost paused and thought for a moment as he looked the human over before raising a hand to get his attention. I meant to mention this earlier. You have mages?